This is Crossing Streamz number, for those of you playing audio only, that's 6. 1 plus 5
equals 6.
I'm Sean.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Anthony.
Anthony.
What's up, Sean? How's it going, man?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. We got some good news earlier today. I got an email from Stitcher saying that we've been approved to be on their radio. So kudos to us. You know, now we're available on Stitcher Radio. Just go on Stitcher and you can just search out Crossing Streamz with the Z at the end. Remember that. And we'll be there. All of our episodes are there.
Wait, there's a Z at the end? Because I forgot. I'm
after
on the show
streams.
and I forgot.
Crossing Streamz with a Z.
I'll have to podcast.
Stitcher,
I forgot about that.
Stitcher is if you don't know, which you didn't know.
I don't know. I don't use it.
Stitcher is a popular podcasting application. They stream podcasts, and basically everybody's on there. So now we're part of everybody. So kudos to us. Yeah, so that's great.
Cool.
Any other news? Well, we'll talk about the other stuff. Oh, should we talk about it now? We should, right?
Yeah, we should. It kind of makes sense.
Just in case people stop listening after the first 15 seconds, we should.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me too.
I tuned out. I tuned out already.
I don't blame you. So basically, we have 2 feeds going on right now on iTunes. 2 Crossing Streamz feeds. We switched podcasting service.
Can we cross the streams on the Crossing Streamz service?
I wish we could, but that's something that you can't do because apparently that would end the world.
But versus space-time continuum.
That's right. I'm glad you got the real. I'm glad you said the real thing. Unravel the something. So we have 2. If you go on iTunes and you search Crossing Streamz, you'll see 2 separate Crossing Streamz. I'm not really sure how to differentiate the 2 if you ever go in there, but we switched podcasting services, so one is for one podcasting service and one is for the other. The original one is going to be discontinued, just to say the least. So if you go into iTunes and you look up Crossing Streamz, some of the reviews are in the first one, so that's really the only way that I can tell the difference, is to go into the actual podcast and see which one has the reviews. All right?
Let me ask you this. Will you be putting this episode up on the old service or just on the new service?
That's a good point. I mean, that's a good question. I am probably going to put this one up on the old one just because this one has the notice on it. You know?
Makes sense.
Or what we may do is I might just do like a 30-second message and just post it up there so that people know.
So just look for abnormalities.
That's right. So.
Well, and we can put a link on everything. A link into the iTunes.
Right. Yeah. We'll let everybody know.
Put a web link.
Yep.
On all the services: Facebook, Google+, Twitter.
Yeah. We'll let everybody know. Yeah. All right. So let's get started. We're a little bit late today. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Well,
it happens sometimes.
We were busy doing nothing.
Yeah, we were busy doing nothing. Really, he's not kidding at all. So how about this movie? How about this movie we watched?
Man, so tell me about it. What does Amazon call it? How does Amazon? You don't have it up, do you?
Shite! Come on. All right, keep going. What's the name of the movie?
So we watched This Is Spinal Tap from 1984. The movie was rated #1 by Entertainment Weekly as the #1 cult classic. That was as of 2006. I'm sorry, ranked #1 on Entertainment Weekly's top 50 cult films of all time. That was as of 2006.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I would agree. Did you get it yet? Are you there yet?
Well, I'm going to read the IMDb one. It's really short, so just for time, we'll just read that one. Spinal Tap, the world's loudest band, is chronicled by hack documentarian Marty DeBurgi on what proves to be a fateful tour. That's it. See, I tell you it was short.
That was fancy.
That was.
So, this movie, I'm gonna come out and say it now. This movie is probably one of my favorite comedic movies of all time.
Okay.
You know, the 90% of the movie was ad-libbed. Um, you know, you have Rob Reiner, who is Marty DeBurgi. He's the documentarian.
And he starts right from the beginning. And
Absolutely.
it cracked me up because I was like, is that Meathead? And it was Meathead.
Well, and
Do you remember Meathead? You remember him as Meathead, right?
What was that from? Because I don't.
That's what Archie Bunker used to call him.
No, that was just a few years before my time.
Daggone it! Am I showing my age again?
Dude, you're only like 5 minutes older than me.
I know. So why do I know about it? You don't.
I don't know.
All right.
So he's the filmmaker, the documentarian. Michael McKeon plays David St. Hubbins, who is the lead singer, lead vocalist of the band. He also plays backup guitar. Christopher Guest, who is the director. He was also the one. Basically, Christopher Guest is known for coming up with loose movie ideas and doing these on the spot improvisational movies, such as A Mighty Wind, Best in Show, which is about dog shows of all things, which is hilarious.
I have to watch that. I haven't seen that one.
It's a good movie. Spinal Tap, of course, and a couple other movies. Waiting for Guffman. You know, he brings in a lot of the same people in the movies. He played Nigel Tufnell, who was the lead guitarist. Harry Shearer, who is most famous for playing 21 voices in The Simpsons. He plays Derek Smalls, the lead bassist.
Okay.
And I loved his beard.
Oh, the handlebars and the went over.
And then it was
like
shaved
this.
right in the middle the whole way.
I just want to make a correction. Rob Reiner directed it.
Yeah, he was the director as well.
Yeah, you said Christopher Guest directed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the movie was Christopher Guest's idea.
Right. He wrote it.
Rob. Yeah. Well, whatever. Actually, Rob Reiner.
I think everybody should get credit for writing, right?
Well, those four guys came up since they were a majority of the movie, the screen time.
Yeah,
they actually got
writing
credits.
Yeah, because they were ad-libbing.
Well, and they actually went to SAG and said everybody who was in this should get writing credits somewhere. And SAG said, you guys did a majority of the movie. You came up with the loose concept. Everyone else just provided a couple lines. So
that sucks.
Well, you know, it does, but at the same time, these guys made the movie hilarious.
Yeah, they did.
So just the amount of jokes in this movie, you know, the subtleties, like, you know, stuff like the Electric Banana Rock Club, which I loved. You know, the punctuality of the band as one of their, you know, in the very beginning where Marty's talking about how the band is punctual and all this. Just made me laugh. I remember this was like 2003. I went to a concert. I went to a Guns N' Roses concert in Philadelphia at the Spectrum.
Yep.
And well, speaking of punctuality or a lack of punctuality, Guns N' Roses, or you know, as it later became known, Axl and Friends, never showed up. So Mixmaster Mike from the Beastie Boys did like a 3-hour DJ set. Probably had carpal tunnel after that.
He probably killed it too, huh?
It was pretty good from what I pretend to remember. One of the running gags in this movie is how many drummers the band had.
32 drummers.
Exactly. 32 drummers. Later in the movie, Nigel says there's 30, or David says later that there's been 37 people in the band.
Right.
And there's been 3 that have been regulars and the keyboardist, I believe. And so that leaves 32 different people to play drums.
Right. Because they all died.
Somehow.
They all died fatally.
Yeah.
One of them actually blew up, is what they said.
Yeah. One guy.
And that part just made me, I just giggled because I thought it was so funny because the thing is that it's dry humor.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Like they say it and they're so serious. You believe them, but it's funny. You know, he just exploded. What?
Well, what I was reading a quote about the movie earlier, and Ozzy said that he and the rest of Black Sabbath at the time watched the movie, and he was the only one not laughing because he thought it was real.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the drummer thing is a running gag in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the guys died. I wrote them down here. One of them, the first drummer, Pete, died in a bizarre gardening accident. Stumpy Joe, their second drummer, choked on someone else's vomit.
Yeah, somebody's vomit. They don't know whose vomit it was because supposedly it's hard to dust for prints and vomit.
Yeah. Their third drummer, and I didn't catch his name. I think I have it as Peter James Bond, but I think that's wrong. He's the one that had a mysterious death where he exploded on stage.
Right. And so from that I coined the term drummer's luck.
Yeah.
I'm going to trademark that. It's not called bad luck anymore. It's called drummer's luck.
Well, and you were having drummer's luck with this movie.
I was having terrible drummer's luck. Should I elaborate?
Please.
All right. Well, let's go. I was watching it on Amazon Prime, which I think you were as well. And I was having issues. I was watching it on my Roku, my little Roku box. And for some reason, every time I tried to watch the movie, something would happen. I was watching the movie and I'm taking notes at the same time. So sometimes I have to pause. Sometimes I have to rewind because maybe I caught something and I want to hear it again. So I paused it and it wouldn't play after I paused it. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Let me try rewinding it. I hit rewind. It would rewind to the beginning of the movie. It wouldn't play. It wouldn't stop. It would just rewind. So I stopped the movie. I backed out. I went back into it, and it started me from the beginning of the movie. So I fast forwarded to where I was. At some point, I had to stop it again, and the same thing happened. I pressed rewind, and it went all the way to the beginning of the movie. I started the movie again. Well, I started to start the movie, and it said, "Would you like to resume from where you left off? Like resume or start from the beginning?" So I hit resume. I was like, "Great, it'll start from where I left it." I hit resume, and it still started from the beginning. I don't know what was going on, and then it's the whole Roku box just shut down and rebooted.
Nice.
So I said, you know what? And every other movie was working. I tried other movies in Amazon Prime, and it was working fine. So I said, let me hold off on this because I'm gonna get frustrated, and I'm never gonna want to watch this movie, right? So yesterday, me and my fiance, we went out to go get something to eat. We came back. I took a little nap, and I said, all right, because yesterday I had off. So I said, all right, let me try watching the movie. I start the movie. I'm watching it, having a good time, enjoying it, and all of a sudden my stomach just starts rumbling, and I think I had like the worst case of like just food poisoning, and I was just tossing cookies the whole time while I'm watching the movie. I kept on having to pause it and run to the bathroom and upchuck my gut, whatever you want to call it. So this movie is, I mean, I think I would have. I really enjoyed the movie, but I think I would have really enjoyed it more if I didn't have so many issues with it. But
wow.
Yeah, so that was good. I feel good now though, so that's great.
You sent me a message the other day, and you said you were having drummer's luck, and I fired one back to you right away, and I said, "Did your Roku catch on fire, or what did I say? Did it spontaneously combust?"
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, in a purple spark.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been great.
Yeah, so
it might as well have. I wish it would have. At that point, I wanted to blow it up.
So I'll tell you what, though, the drummer joke in this movie was also featured in. They made reference to it in the Pearl Jam documentary PJ20.
Oh, really?
Since they've had a couple drummers, they kind of they make a basic joke about how many drummers they've had in the movie and stuff like that.
So, do you remember the names of the bands that they were going through? The Creatures, the Lovely Lads.
Oh no, I didn't write any of those down.
And then their band name. Well, they were gonna go with the Originals.
Oh yeah, the Originals.
But somebody had that name, so they went with the New Originals. And then the Originals changed their names to the Regulars. So then they took the Originals name. Like they ended up with the Originals name anyways.
Yeah, like they just I love the back and forth between those two. It was great.
Yeah, yeah, like they're just feeding off each other. I wish we could do that. I wish
Mhm.
we were good like that, right?
I wish we were funny.
That would be nice.
So, did you check out in the beginning? There were, I caught anyway, three, well, two cameos in the opening night where they had the mime servers at the first party.
Oh, I caught one.
Who?
Since you caught two, I'll say one of them.
Who was it?
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal. Mime is money.
Mime is money. Let's go. He said, "Did you do the dead bird? Did you do the dead bird?"
You know who he was talking to?
No, who was that?
Dana Carvey.
Was it?
Yeah.
Get out of here! I did
And
not
then-
catch that at all.
And then Fran Drescher, of course, was in the movie.
Oh,
you know,
she's
throughout
hot in the movie too. She doesn't change, man. She still looks like that to me.
Yeah, I hear that. So the manager, I have to call this out. They were talking about New York and how New York was for the music scene.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how true
Yeah,
that is anymore.
Philly.
But Philly, that's a real rock town, and
Right.
that is
It's
true.
true. Mime is money, dude.
So so I have to ask you, what did you think of the lyrics in these songs?
They were awesomely hilarious because each song was something different. And once you hear the first song, you want to listen to all the songs and see what they're about. Like, okay, what are they going to sing about now? I think the first song was "Pop, Look, and Listen" or "Give Me Some Money," something like that.
Give Me Some Money was their old back,
Right.
chronologically it was an older one.
Mhm.
The first song that I have written down that they sang was Big Bottom. I just want to read
The thicker the cushion, the sweeter the pushing.
yeah. Let me just read you the first verse.
All
The
right.
bigger the cushion, the sweeter the pushing. That's what I said. The looser the waistband, the deeper the quicksand. And this is the part that gets me. Or so I have read. What?
Oh, God.
What are you? Where are you reading this? I mean,
What is that? What book is this? I need to pick this up.
It's like George Thorogood poetry.
It was all the lyrics were good. They were all good.
Did you notice during that song?
And I like when he said it was kind of like a play on words, but one of the lyrics was I never want to leave that behind.
Yeah,
leave this behind, something like that. That was like a play on words. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty neat. I like that.
I love how he talks about mud flaps, how his girls got mud flaps. No thanks. Mud flaps, also known as meat curtains.
Meat wallets.
Ham wallets, meat curtains.
Ham wallet.
The most subtle joke of that whole song, that whole sequence, was when Derek has the double bass neck guitar.
Mhm.
And I think you'll appreciate this joke. Both necks have 4 strings.
See, I'm not a bass guitarist.
Basically, what that means is that when you have a double neck guitar,
So basically, they're both the same thing.
they're exactly the same.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
When you have a multi-neck guitar, in most cases you'll have 2 at most. One is 6-string, one is 4 strings because it gives you a different sound, or one is 5 and one is 6. Any combination of that. I think Jimi Hendrix or Jimmy Page had one that was a 6-string and a 12-string. So that makes sense, to have a 6 and a 12-string guitar, but to have 2 4-neck guitar, two 4
4 strings, like exactly the same.
So, how about and to go back to the back and forth when Nigel and David are sitting there and they're having a conversation, and Nigel just puts his gum on his finger.
Yeah. And he says, what is that? He says, my gum. He said, why do you have this? He's like, just in case I need it later. He said, why don't you put it on the table, which is worse.
Or put on your plate something that's clean.
Yeah, but he says put it on the table, and then he says we can't take them anywhere. Well, the table isn't better than the finger.
And then when they're you've performed places.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you're big time Anthony Feliciano or not, but have you ever had a rider or Writer, whatever they're called.
No. I never had that.
I love how Nigel's backstage with the little bread and the big size.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't figure it out. I want to fold it, and it breaks. And
yeah, he's not. The thing is, he's not even like mad about it. He's more like upset. Like it's hurting him. You know, you actually feel bad for him because he's not being an a-hole about it. He's just really so confused. Like why is it like this? And did you notice the Oreos right next to it with no it was like liquid cream. It was like liquid cream.
Exactly.
and it just looked like something that like my mother put out. You know, it was just like the aluminum foil, and it wasn't like classy at all. It was just thrown together.
How long did it take you to realize that this tour was like they had already fallen off the map?
Oh, immediately.
Yeah, it was great, and it just gets so much better throughout the movie too.
Well, the thing is, it got so much worse for them. Like all the venues started getting worse.
Well, for them it got so much worse, but for the viewer it got so much better.
Oh yeah, of course. We were able to indulge in it.
Mm-hmm.
How about the armadillo?
Yeah, we got trousers and an armadillo.
We have armadillo and trousers. It's unbelievable.
Well, he was talking to him about why their fan base was primarily male. It's like, well, you know, it's a sex thing. Well, what kind of sex thing attracts dudes to other dudes? I'm just asking an honest question here.
Right.
You know, I just thought that was funny. But when they're in Chapel Hill, which is an hour east of here,
mm-hmm.
Nigel falls down on his back during a guitar solo and he can't get back up.
The stage manager like spins him around.
Yeah.
And he still couldn't get up, and finally he got him up.
Yeah, it took him a while. Then was the next scene there? He's in his guitar room.
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
You've probably heard that quote before. It goes up to 11.
Oh yeah.
You know, listen to that guitar.
That was a funny conversation about the 11, the 10 and the 11.
If you see 10, or if you see 11 across the board, but these go one higher, and he's like, well, why not make? You're at 10 and you want just a little bit more. Where do you go? You go to 11. Well, why not make 9, 10, and make 11, 10? But these go to 11.
So this goes to 11. Yeah, that's his answer to a great question, by the way. You know, why not just make it louder?
Well, you know,
like why not just make it louder in the first place? Well, this one has 11.
IMDb says that this movie is the only movie that's rated out of 11 stars.
That makes sense. It should be.
So, the manager carries around a cricket bat.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it comes in handy.
I've never watched a cricket match. I've never watched. I mean, I know there's ball bearings in the ball, and they like launch it at the ground, and
they're like 2 feet from each other.
Yeah. What's the strangest sport you've ever watched or played?
Strangest sport I've ever watched or played. I mean, there's not really much. There's not too many. I guess it depends on where you are. You know, if somebody like I would say maybe is it backgammon? The one with the
backgammon's a board game.
No, not backgammon.
Badminton.
Badminton, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I guess Batman. I guess that would be the weirdest one I ever played. I don't know. It's just corny. It's just a corny game.
Oh, it's so fun.
I've never really played anything weird. Unless, somebody coming from overseas and playing something here might think that something's weird, like softball or something. But
football.
Yeah, exactly. I've never played anything weird though. I can't. It's just badminton would probably be the weirdest. But I don't even think it's weird.
We played badminton in gym class in high school.
Yeah, so did I. I hated it.
Did you ever? I mean, you live up in that area. Did you ever go duck pin bowling or candlestick bowling?
Yeah.
See, I caught that on TV once, and that was the coolest, weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, I don't think that's weird though, because I guess once you do it, you don't find it weird anymore.
Well, it's a regional thing. I mean, you have it up there. I don't really know that it's much outside of the New England area.
Mm-hmm. You didn't have it over the MPA?
No, it was just outside. Okay. I mean, New York was as far south as it went.
So you're saying it's a New England thing? I didn't know that.
I think so. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like a Boston and that surrounding area.
Okay.
Well, Massachusetts.
I had no idea at all.
Yeah. So did you notice Gumby, the Gumby shirt in two scenes, and the Gumby in Nigel's pocket in his shirt?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, he had, and I had one back in the day. It was a Gumby about this big.
I had
And
one too. Yeah.
it was a posable one. He had it in his friend's shirt pocket. I'm like, what? I saw it. I'm like, okay, he had the T-shirt
I
on.
didn't see that.
It was right. It was in the scene where they played the old song from Spinal Tap
Right.
when they're all sitting around the radio,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which Harry Shearer did the voice for that. The guy who
Yeah.
played Derek.
Yeah. He did.
He did that. He did that voice.
Yeah. I didn't see
And
the. I didn't see the.
it was real subtle.
I mean, I'm sure it was there. I'm just saying. I don't remember it because I don't. I didn't. I don't think I saw it. I don't think I caught it.
Hmm. And then they went to Graceland, and they
That
saw.
was funny.
Dude, and then there's like,
Yeah,
well, you probably appreciate it the most.
Well, Graceland for the people that don't know is where. Well, Graceland is it Graceland or Graceland? Whatever. It's where Elvis is buried.
Well, it's where Elvis lived too.
Is it? But he's buried there, right?
Well, he's buried there too, and I believe his parents were buried there too.
Okay.
But yeah,
So,
it's just a tourist attraction. He makes a ton. Well, his estate makes a ton of
oh
money.
yeah, I'm sure.
He's like in the top 5 every year of dead people.
Jeez.
Because the tours, and it's not a big.
Sure.
It's not big. I've never been, but it's not big. It's like a 4-bedroom house.
Just a regular house, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the funny part was they started singing "Heartbreak Hotel"
Mm-hmm.
and started getting into a debate about the harmonies.
That's probably something that you can appreciate more because you sing. In case in case you didn't know.
In case I didn't know, yeah.
In case people,
oh, yeah.
in case the listeners didn't know.
Right. No, but I thought that was funny because I thought, I mean, the scene went longer than it had to, but I was glad about it because I was like, how long is this scene gonna be?
It
How
was
long are they
worth
gonna
it,
be
right?
arguing? Yeah, it was definitely worth. I didn't. I'm just saying, I thought the scene was gonna end, but it just kept going, and it was. I mean, I was. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Whatever. I was happy about it.
So, do you know why? I mean, it said, it showed Elvis's name, Elvis Aaron Presley. Do you know why his parents picked Aaron as his middle name?
Aaron, is it biblical?
No, it's
Is it because of Aaron Neville? No, Aaron Neville wasn't born
no.
yet. Or
Well,
was
he
I don't
probably
know.
was.
He probably was, but he doesn't know much. But he knows he loves you.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why.
And I forget what it's called, but it's when there are twins,
Mhm.
and then one twin is actually absorbed by the other twin in the womb.
So you see
And
that birthmark on his face is actually
No.
the other twin?
so his
Oh,
back.
no, I'm thinking about Aaron Neville. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it's I forget the type of twin it's called, but it's where at a very early on in development, it's where one twin absorbs the other twin.
Oh, jeez.
And Anthony Garcia also has this. There's now a surgery that you can have I mean, Elvis had it done too, but there's a surgery that you can have to have whatever's left over of that twin removed.
Oh, so what do you have, like teeth in your back or something?
No, it's just like
An extra nipple?
no, like if you take a what is it, that black and white picture that nobody can tell the sex of the baby, a sonogram? Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It's like if you take a sonogram and you'd lay it over somebody and you'd create a small bump in the shape of that baby.
Hmm.
That's it. I mean, it's not always that shape. It's not always, sometimes it's just like a little bump, like the size of your finger that just sticks out a little bit.
Hmm.
That could just be like a leg or a limb or something like that. It's very rare, but it's very strange too. But of course it exists.
So is that called an Aaron?
No, it's not. It's called.
That was supposed to be the other son's name.
Yes, that's
Gotcha.
why they called him Aaron. Thank you for helping me remember what I was talking about.
Gotcha. Moving on. Moving on from Elvis.
Yeah, so they're
Oh,
on the jamboree.
Did you notice
What's
real
that?
quick? Did you notice they kept on having outbreaks on their lips, like herpes
Yeah,
outbreaks?
there was a subplot that they cut entirely from the movie.
Right, right. I guess they slept. They were with another band, and all of them slept with like the band or something like that.
The lead singer of the band, yeah, was a chick.
He slept with. Yeah, she slept with everybody in the band. They gave them all herpes, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was funny because
yeah.
sometimes they would have it and sometimes they didn't, so you knew that they were just getting outbreaks here.
Yeah, I wondered what that was for. I mean, like until I read it, I didn't realize that that's what it was. I thought they were trying to do like some sort of subtle joke, like these guys were such good friends that who knows what they would do behind
Right.
when the cameras were off. I don't know.
Well, I read it before I watched it, so I had a little
okay.
advantage there.
Well, that makes sense. So they showed a flashback of when they were on Jamboree Bop, and I felt like I was watching the Iron Man video from Black Sabbath.
What?
It's like an old music video that there's like a kaleidoscope effect. And
I felt like I was watching the Partridge Family.
Yeah, you could. Well, a little trippier than the Partridge Family.
Yeah, yeah, it was one of those old school videos. They all had bangs.
Yeah, it was something special.
How about when they go through security at the airport? I must say that security guard was pretty hot.
She was cute.
She was hot, dude. And then the guy goes through the metal detector several times, and he takes off everything metal that he had, and then they come out with the wand that it
looked like a tuning fork.
Yeah, it looked like what the Ghostbusters used for checking for ghosts in the room. That's immediately what I thought of. I was like, oh, took out I forgot the name of it though.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. But anyway, so she's checking him, and the noise goes off. Well, the wand goes off by his crotch. And she's down there for a while too. She's like,
she moves it around all over the place.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you noticed, but he was so pissed. Like he had a cucumber stuck in his pants, and it was wrapped around. Yeah, it was wrapped around aluminum foil, and he just takes it out and just throws it on the table. He was so mad.
Well, did you see the other one, the other didn't have the wand? She was cracking up. Like she had this really big grin on her face.
Was. Yeah.
That was funny. So the album shows up when they're at sound check. Comes in a brown box. When he pops it out, when he takes it out, you know, this movie was filmed in 1982, put out in 1984. Mm-hmm. It's a record, and I had forgotten that this was a period piece, if you will. Mm-hmm. And it was a record. How surprising were you to see a record?
I was surprised. I mean, you know what era you're in.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't surprising. I mean, it makes you feel a little less nostalgic, but it wasn't surprising.
I guess I just forgot. I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of CDs, and like I didn't even think about it. Like, oh, record,
Yeah.
You didn't go back that far. I mean, I had a record player when I was a kid. I listened to Thriller 99,000 times.
Yeah. You heard Vincent Price all your life.
Well, I listened to Beat It was my jam. Beat It on vinyl, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to rephrase that. Listening to Beat It...
let's switch that up.
Yeah, listening to Beat It on a record player.
Beat It on vinyl.
Anyway, next topic. So they're at the next show, and they start playing Rock and Roll Creation, and they're in these pods, each one of them in a self-contained pod,
which I thought was great.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
I thought that something like that at that time would have been something special until I mean in great Spinal Tap fashion.
Oh, dude, hilarious! and just like the progression. So David comes out and he starts the song, he starts singing, and then Nigel comes out and he does his guitar and backup vocals and stuff, and then it comes to Derek and he's stuck
in the pod.
Exactly.
And it's so tight in there. He can't even play.
My favorite though is the stagehand. He eventually starts beating on it with a hammer.
Yeah.
And then it gets like a blowtorch. And then once Nigel and David go back into their pods, Derek's pod opens and and then he steps out, and then his pod closes on his arm. So that leads me to my next question. When performing, have you ever had something go wrong where it was obvious, but you just had to keep pushing through?
I did have something go wrong. As far as like vocally, it wasn't something that was like a stage prop or anything.
Oh, when you hit puberty.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was singing at church, and I was head of the music stuff, whatever. And so we're singing on stage, and this one girl is just totally singing. I don't know what song she's singing, but she was on her own. And we're all trying to harmonize, and she is just effing it up, baby. She said, it's like she woke up that morning and said, I'm going to F up.
Was she singing Heartbreak Hotel by chance?
She wasn't singing Heartbreak Hotel, I'll tell you that. But she was not singing well. So, and it's something that you can't address at that time because people are right there, you know? You just gotta keep going, and what you end up having to do is trying to harmonize with her because she's not getting it.
Yeah, you gotta call an audible.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that. How about you?
Oh, I don't sing in public. I don't.
Oh, yeah,
although when I was,
you do other things in public, but not sing.
Yeah, I beat it on vinyl.
You beat it on vinyl for.
No, when I was I played I was in band in like elementary school. It was like 4th or 5th grade, so I was like 10 or 11.
What'd you play?
Well, at first I played the trombone.
Okay.
And then I switched over to tenor sax for a while.
Oh, you felt like being sexy?
Yeah, because that's exactly it. So I was playing trombone, and I was playing at church, and I messed up a note, and the teacher was just off stage and said, "Start over."
Ooh.
So I started over, but we had a conversation, and my head is turned to the audience, and I'm having a conversation with her at the same time. And so it was just kind of strange. And my parents were like, when it was over, they told me this years later, they're like, why did you play it twice? And then, why did you play it twice after you messed up and played it almost the whole way through the first time? So conceivably played it 3 times. But at different tempos each time.
Damn, you had it bad, bro.
Yeah, man, I did. So then we see the softer side of Nigel, where he's playing the piano, and he's playing it. He's playing his song "Lick My Love Pump" in D minor, which is the saddest of all keys.
Which is the saddest of all keys. Which actually, it sounded great. It sounded really good.
Until he told you what it was called.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you didn't know what it was called, it really sounded pretty.
Oh yeah.
You know? It sounded really good. And just to throw this out there, they're all
accomplished.
Yeah, they're all musicians.
Yeah, and so they all sang and yeah.
Yeah, and when you listen to the soundtrack, it's all them.
Yeah, it's all them. They're all accomplished musicians, and they did well. And the funny thing is too about the movie. Spinal Tap is This Is Spinal Tap is a mockumentary, but the band exists when they want to. They go on tour, they do stuff. They actually played at what was it, Live 8?
Oh, Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
Oh, they're real.
Yeah, they're a quote unquote real band. They played.
I don't know what that means. That means you're implying they're not real.
Well, they're real when they want to be. They're real when they want to be. They're not like an active touring band, but
okay.
What is it? But at Live 8, they had all the bass players come out and play Big Bottom from everyone that performed in England, and I think there was like 30 bass players playing this one song.
That's a lot.
So it's very tongue in cheek though. They're really good musicians, but it's with a heavy side of comedy.
Sure. So Michael McKeon, when I saw him on there, I was like, I know this guy from somewhere. And for some reason, I kept on getting him confused with Gary Busey. And I'm like, is that Gary Busey?
Wow.
Michael McKeon is somebody that you see everywhere.
Oh yeah, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah, he's been everywhere in movies, TV shows, but I never knew his name until I saw the movie. Well, until I actually searched it, and because I was like, is that Gary Busey? That's the first thing that came to my mind. And then I looked it up. I'm like, and then I looked at his picture now, his IMDb picture, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see who it is now. I know he looked familiar.
Well, he's in a lot of these Christopher Guest movies too. Like he was one of the guys in Best in Show. I mean, his IMDb is just extensive.
Oh yeah.
He was in The Simpsons for a while too.
Was he?
Well, he was on a couple different voices. He did a couple different voices. Just looking here. I'm scrolling forever, and I'm back at 1998.
Jeez.
So he's been in anything and everything. So, anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Okay.
Did you see Belinda in the movie anywhere?
Belinda. Who's Belinda?
Well, do you remember where Artie Fufkin comes in from when they're in Chicago, and then eventually they go to a record signing where nobody shows up?
Yeah.
And he says, "Kiss my ass," or kiss
my
ass.
Yeah. And the girl was cracking up.
Oh, dude, it's funny. It's just how random is that? Some guy. he had on a sweet jacket too, by the way.
He did.
But when he comes into the hotel room, Belinda is laying there with Nigel. That's our friend. Right.
Okay, yeah.
That's our friend Joyce Heiser from Just One of the Guys.
No, it's not.
We got to see the back of her head.
Was it really?
That was. She was in the movie for all of about 3 frames.
Oh man. Is that her first movie or something?
No, but it was the one she did just before Just One of the Guys.
Oh. See, now this movie would have been a whole lot better if she turned around just for 1 second.
If you saw anything except her hair.
That's right. When are you good off having tits?
So then we go to the Xanadu Star Theater in Cleveland.
Is that the one they got lost in?
Yes, they got lost. They're in the boiler room, and they run up across this janitor. The only thing that would have been funny was if this dude had gigantic glasses, like thick Coke bottle glasses,
right,
where you could see his thoughts, like the hotel.
Yeah,
like the hotel where they gave him 1 room on the 7th floor instead of 7 rooms on the 1st floor.
Yep.
And he's got those thick glasses where you can see his thoughts.
Yep. Looks like he's looking through an aquarium.
Yeah. And then so they're on their way to after these 20 minutes of directions.
And it's funny because the guy gives them directions, and they're looking all around, and then they come across him again, like they went around a circle.
It didn't take him but maybe 10 seconds to come back to him. And then on the way back, he's like, "Hello, Cleveland." I don't know. I can't be sure, but that might be where that became so commonplace in pop culture.
You never know. I'm sure I'm sure a lot of their stuff came from actual.
Oh yeah,
it's and concerts and stuff like that. Like the scene where which one is the lead guitarist? Not
Nigel.
Well, Christopher Guest.
Nigel.
Okay, yeah. Nigel. When he's playing the guitar and he picks up the violin and starts playing it.
And don't forget he was playing the other guitar with his foot.
Right. No, he's just hitting it with his sneaker. He's just hitting it. But he picks up the violin and plays the guitar with it, which sounds absolutely awful.
Awful.
It sounds terrible. And then he takes the violin and tunes it. And puts it back.
Well, and that's actually a rip on Jimmy Page actually played his guitar with a violin bow one time.
Yeah, but he played with the bow.
Yeah, he didn't play with a violin.
Nigel actually played with the violin. It was just, it was awful. It was a string-on-string action.
It was horrendous. But then...
And then he tops it off by hitting the guitar with a sneaker on the bottom. And you look at his face, and he has the face of, like, I am killing this right now.
He is deep in concentration.
he actually tuned the violin. That was so funny to me.
I think the funniest part to me has to be I think it was the next scene or the next series of scenes where they want to blow out all the stops. They want to bring in an 18-foot Stonehenge.
Oh yeah.
But what they do is Nigel puts 18 # which
inches.
is inches. And they lower this 18-inch Stonehenge down, and just the look of what the hell on David's face and then Nigel's face. It's just so fun. And then they're like, well, midgets dance around. Stonehenge almost got crushed by a dwarf. But here's my question. They were supposed to be British.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they use the metric system? So wouldn't they have used meters?
That's true.
Like it would be 2.3 meters would be approximately 7 feet.
Yeah, don't ask me anything about math.
Yeah, I mean it's like a meter is a yard almost.
Okay.
But like that thought crept in my mind this morning. I was like, wait a minute. But regardless, I just thought that scene was every time I see it, hilarious.
Yeah, because it comes down so slow.
Uh-huh.
and their faces, like you said, they look so confused. Like, what in the world is happening?
They're like all excited. They're like, oh, we have this 18-foot tall Stonehenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would be like 6. That'd be like 6 meters then.
Whatever. And then they started arguing in the back.
Yeah. So, but here's a part that you'll definitely be an expert on. And I'll get to that in a second. No, not dwarfs. But I do want a midget friend.
I do too.
Anyway, back to you, Sean. So they're in the recording studio, and this had been set up for a long time, and it already had started to take shape. But Janine taking over the band after Ian, the manager, quits. Did you kind of get a Yoko John Lennon feel to that? How she was like inserting herself in the band.
Maybe that's what they were trying to do, trying to make fun of.
Yeah, maybe. Perhaps. But what did you think of that old recording equipment? I mean, I don't know how things have changed from when this was filmed to now, but I mean, obviously you could use your computer and a microphone, but...
Right, that's what I was going to say. It's so aged. At that time, you needed a studio to put an album together. You needed that equipment. Now, like you said, I can use my Mac. I have a microphone right there, and that's all I need. And it'll sound just as good. I can make it radio ready.
Well, and you can use like GarageBand or guitar, whatever the hell that program is called.
Yeah, GarageBand. You can use programs like Pro Tools.
Pro Tools,
Ableton, things like that. You
can be your own band. Also,
yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy how digital everything is. You can. I mean, there's stories now of like who was it, Motley Crue. I know they're on your radar.
Yeah, of course.
They all have a studio pretty much in their own house, and they recorded their own parts and just emailed them back and forth instantly.
Right. Yeah, that's what I do now. Whenever I do music, they'll send me a track and I'll record it right here and I'll just send it back. That's it.
You're talking about Motley Crue.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I send my music to Motley Crue.
New lead singer. So then you can tell that they're definitely going on a dive because they go to an Air Force base to play, and they are not having it. But man, Fred Willard, when he greeted them at the door,
yeah, when I saw Fred Willard, I was like, yes, please let him be in the rest of the movie.
Man, I love how his joke. I mean, he's in Best in Show too, and he just has this throwaway line where you've seen Dodgeball, first of all, right?
Yes.
Gary Cole and Jason Bateman are doing commentary.
Right.
In Dodgeball. Fred Willard is kind of like, I forget who he does commentary with. It's someone who actually is like a reputable commentary play-by-play guy. Not like Al Michaels or Marv Alberts or anybody like that, but somebody who would do it, like Jim Nantz or somebody,
Okay.
And so he's doing this commentary, and out of nowhere he just looks to the guy and goes, "You know what? How much do you think I can bench press?" Just like the most random thing you could talk about, and they're at a dog show. Yeah, she's like, I could do about 250, and he just goes on and on about this.
See, I gotta see that movie.
Oh, it's a good movie, but Fred Willard just, man, he just makes every movie better because he just, like, he's like, oh yeah, my hair's getting a little long, a little shaggy. You might think I'm a member of the band, and these guys have hair down past their shoulders, and he's got a haircut like just about as short as mine. He's funny, man. But this is where we see Nigel throw his guitar and storm off.
Yeah, there was writings on the wall for that.
Oh yeah, you could see that.
The writing on the wall was there. I mean, he was getting frustrated the whole time.
Yeah, but then then they go to the next show without Nigel, and it's the Muppet Show and Spinal Tap.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pissed. They're pissed, but not pissed because they're at a theater with 30 people who think they suck. They are second build.
Right. They don't have time.
Muppet Show.
Yeah, puppet show.
Yeah.
And then the girl goes, "Well, you have a bigger dressing room."
Than Muppets. So then, toward the end of the movie, or after that, we go to the end of the tour party. It's on a rooftop with a pool. And Marty asks, is this the end of Spinal Tap? And David gives him a 20-minute politician answer.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite is the exchange between Derek and David. I envy us, and David says, "I envy us too."
Yeah. They're talking about doing a rock opera.
Yeah, basically, they're just not admitting to themselves that their time has long passed.
Right.
But then at the last show, we see Nigel, and he comes in and says that they're huge in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Big Bottom was huge in Japan?
Yep.
And
that was a play on words too.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. But I mean, that's probably where we get huge in Japan from, because
yeah.
But at any rate, I love how then they call Nigel up on the stage after they go on and they're playing a song, and then they see the drummer, and then he explodes into one of the other, one of the original drummers or one of the previous drummers.
No, I thought it was a new drummer.
Was it a new drummer?
Yeah, it was a new drummer. It was instant. He blew up, and then a new drummer appeared.
Yeah. And then they're in Japan, and it's the original. It's, I guess, except the drummer, they were all original.
Right.
But dude, I love at the end where David's twisting the cassette, and he says, I'm a member of a club or something. It's like I have a book on tape read by celebrities with the same last name as the author.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. I forgot about that, and I just started cracking up. It was funny.
It was a pretty good movie, man. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
So
even though I went through hell trying to watch it.
Yeah, and we went through about 14 pages of this happened, that happened just a minute ago, and
yeah,
well worth it though. So using first of all, Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a great rating all across the board. 95% critics and 91% audience.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hanging in there.
IMDb rates this 8 stars out of 11.
Yeah, I mean it's just a good movie.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
I didn't expect it to be this kind of movie. I thought it was going to be like a goofy movie. I didn't think it was going to be good.
Yeah, you thought it would be. You had different preconceptions.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be kind of like watching like a Charles Bronson movie for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be goofy, or like a Van Damme movie.
Oh yeah, they're all
like watching Bloodsport again. I'm pretty sure. I hope that pops up on Netflix with that, because that would be a good one. Because I'm sure we could find stupid stuff in there.
Make a note of that. So using our 1 to 5, which we might have to expand to 10 at some point.
No, that's too much. There's too much in between.
Too much nuance, yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 to 5, 1 being I won't watch it again, and 5 being we'll watch it immediately after watching it again.
I would give it a 4. I would watch it if it's on.
Watch it if it's on TV?
Yeah, I would watch it.
Yeah, this is one of the movies.
Or like if there's nothing to watch, if I'm just hanging out one Sunday afternoon and I'm browsing through Amazon Prime or Netflix and I see it, I'm like, oh, I'll watch this.
Sure, yeah, I would watch it.
It's not something that I would avoid or stay away from.
Yeah, I hear that. I definitely give this a 4, and I'd watch it because of the actors that are in it.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, they're definitely very good at what they do, and you know, they made the movie, obviously.
Yeah,
Well,
and
literally
they
and
and they're
figuratively.
and they're they're very talented to be able to just bounce off each other and just
Hmm.
you know ad lib like that. That's hard. That's hard to do.
Absolutely.
Really hard.
So, I'd say this movie holds up.
Oh yeah, it holds up. I mean, I can't. It was good. Now I had never seen the movie. It was a first. It was a first for me. So I mean, it was good.
I tell you, I saw this movie about, I don't know, I don't remember exactly when, but I bought this DVD for $5 at Circuit City. So that
Hmm.
tells you how long ago that was.
Oh, excuse
Um,
me.
and the main title sequence, you know, when you pop the DVD in and, you know, eventually it can play a song or whatever,
Hmm.
um, it had on the screen, it had the logo, this Spinal Tap. It was about this big, about as big as this bottle cap here. And you heard the band members, at least the 3 band members, Nigel, David, and Derek. They were all sitting around like, what does it say? I can't read it. It's too small. Make it bigger. How do we make it bigger? Come on, I can't read it. And then it was that for a minute and a half, and I'm sitting there cracking up, not even knowing that this is what I should be expecting.
Uh-huh.
And then so they zoom in, and it goes like this, like up to the screen, and it's just that big to the
Uh-huh.
point where they can't even read. They're like, back it up. It's too big. I can't see it anymore. What's it say? And then they back it up, and then they move it forward, and they do that a couple times, and they just have something new to say every time.
Hmm.
And then I hit play, and I enjoyed it. It was probably,
It does that. It goes. If I remember DVDs right, it does that on a loop, right?
yeah, but it was a long one, man. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, like you know, like Pulp Fiction is like a minute, Iron
Hmm.
Man is 30 seconds. You know, this one was like a good 3 minutes. It was entertaining. It was like an extra built right into the movie.
Right off the bat.
You know, yeah, but it was subtle, and that's you know that's why these movies really hold up. I think
Hmm.
they're so subtle; they hold up really well.
Right.
So, so that's Spinal Tap, and we're almost running out of time. But next week,
Next week we
next
got a
week,
good one. We
have
got
a
a good one.
currently streaming on Amazon Prime.
Red. Oh, sorry.
Did we check it this week? Because I
Yeah,
know we
it's there.
checked it last week.
It's there. I saw it. So hopefully it's
Okay.
there by next week.
So this week,
Can I say it?
Sam.
Let me see it. Come on.
this week, Anthony, what are we watching?
We're watching Red Sonja.
A first for me.
A movie that I've seen before, but I think it's going to be like the first time again because I don't remember it at all.
You know what? I don't even know who's in it. That's how much I know about the movie.
Would you like me to tell you?
You could tell me. I probably won't remember
It's
till tomorrow.
Brigitte Nielsen is Red
Oh,
Red
jeez.
Sonja.
Do we have to watch it?
Yeah, we have. Well, we just put it out there, so now we have to.
Wait, is this like hot Brigitte Nielsen or like Flavor? Wait, let me.
It's not flavor. It's not Flavor Flav.
Okay,
Brigitte.
so it's Sylvester Stallone, Brigitte Nielsen, not Flavor Flav, Brigitte Nielsen.
That's right. Yep, exactly. It's Beverly Hills Cop 2, Brigitte Nielsen.
Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, but she's in it, and I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's in there for a little bit too,
Oh
because
boy.
it's kind of like a crossover between Conan.
Oh really?
So he's actually in it. Yeah,
Oh okay.
I'm not sure if he's in there for the whole movie. I don't remember,
Boy, I
Right.
hope not.
but I do know he's in there. Yeah, I know, right? But that's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be our first fantasy movie. Right? Your fantasy.
Like sci-fi fantasy or like
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a little
like,
kid.
like Brigitte Nielsen for you.
Oh,
Fantasy.
oh yeah. That's exactly
Arnold
it.
Schwarzenegger fantasy for you.
Boy, how'd you know?
Oh, whatever. Arnold, get down! Get down!
There's a video on YouTube. There's 2 of them now actually. It's 10 minutes. I forget exactly what you search for, but it's like greatest Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes. And it's just nonstop. It's like, get to the chopper, put those cookies down, get out of here, get down, get up. It's the most ridiculous video ever. And it's 10 minutes long.
I gotta say, your Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty good.
Is it? That was just kind of off the cuff.
It was. I must say, it was not bad.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy and what does he do? See, I can't do it. Screw you.
Okay.
Screw you for being able to do Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. Damn you.
Yeah, if that, man, I'm gonna hang on to that forever because that's a moneymaker. I mean, I look like him, there. I'm built like him, and I can talk like him.
That's right.
I'm tan like him and everything.
Is he tan now?
Dude, he's from Europe. Aren't they all tan? Wait, that's a generalization. We'll cut that out later.
That's right. Now we're gonna get 1-star reviews from Europeans. Good job, Sean. Well, because he
sorry, sad face.
And 1-star review by Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, so next week we got Red Sonja. That's about it, right? Is that a show? Should we?
Just catch us on the normal stuff. Crossing Streamz at Crossing Streamz on Twitter, Crossing Streamz on Google Plus, Facebook.com/Crossing Streamz, the Google Plus community. Email us crossingstreamz@gmail.com.
Search for us, subscribe on iTunes.
You know what? On iTunes, subscribe to both of them on iTunes, just to be sure.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. You're probably right about that.
I did.
Oh, did you? I did too.
I did. That's all. Yeah.
But
because I don't listen to these, but I subscribed anyway.
Right, I subscribe. But oh damn, you lose my train of thought. What was I gonna say?
Stitcher.
Blah, blah, blah. I think I said that, but that wasn't it. But I'll say it anyways. Catch us on Stitcher Radio, on your smarts, on all your smartphones and your iPads and your tablets. Stitcher, and I do know that Stitcher is also available on the Roku box. So I'm not sure wherever it's located, but I know it's on Roku as well. So yeah,
fancy. That's
where you can find us. I think that's about it, right? Crossing Streamz with a Z. Remember that. We always, don't want to forget that part. Yeah. So we're good, right?
Yeah, we're done.
That's a show. So we'll see you next week with episode 7? Yeah, that's good luck.
We should skip 7 just for shits, just for fun.
So it'll be episode 8.
Yeah, why not? No. Next week we'll figure out how to count by next week.
We'll figure out what number it is, but it's definitely gonna be Red Sonja, and that's about it. So I'll talk to you later, Sean.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it. Oh yeah, you know what? Also, we're looking for a couple of people to join us. Sorry, we're like extending this, right?
Oh yeah, the important part.
Yeah. We're looking for people to join us. So if you want to be a guest on the show, watch a movie and talk about it with us, you're more than welcome to. You can email us at Crossing Streamz with a Z, crossingstreamz@gmail.com, or reach us any other way through Twitter, Facebook, all the other places. All right, and that's it. That's the show. That's what I like to call the show.
I'm done talking. Shut this down.
Yeah, me too. Peace.